from Mbeya University of Science and Technology, but also I do some research in the areas of food. I'm a food scientist, a passionate one. So today I'm going to share my research. So we are researching on the edible wild mushroom. And the edible wild mushroom, this is one of the area that is yet to be explored. There is a lot of unknown when it comes to edible wild mushroom. And they are vast. There are a lot of them. They are unknown in the senses of names. A lot of them are still yet to be named scientifically, but some of them do not even have a common name. And also there is a lot of unknown in the nutritional composition of the wild mushroom, but also the genetic properties, the medicinal properties, as well as the active and bioactive ingredients. So globally, mushroom is one of the integral parts of the world traditional diet, and it has a rich nutritional profile and the potential health benefits. A lot of potential health benefits comes from consumption of mushroom. And in Tanzania, particularly, the edible wild mushroom have been consumed for centuries, passed it down orally, that they are not purely documented. So as a result of the oral passing down of the knowledge and the practices, there is limited potential in utilizing this edible wild mushroom. And the limited potential in case of addressing the nutritional deficiencies, mushroom are very wild in nutrients, both macronutrients and micronutrients. If we could use them properly, they could help us a lot in addressing a lot of nutritional deficiencies, but also addressing the food security. But also there are cases of inconsistent classification. We have cases of mushroom poisoning. Why? Because a lot of undocumentation. We have an elder woman in the village that can be able to differentiate between two very similar varieties of edible wild mushroom, that this one is edible, this one is poisonous. But we have another person from the same village can mix the two, and they can get the poison from the poisonous mushroom. A lot of nutrient loss due to improper processing and preservation techniques. So our research aimed at analyzing the nutritional composition of this edible wild mushroom, but also we compared them with the cultivated mushroom. We are also able to assess the impact of drying on the properties of the edible wild mushroom, and to do some documentation. So our study was conducted in two regions, in Katavi and Mbeya. And in Katavi, we collected our samples from Mlele Forest in Inyonga district. The Mlele Forest is one of very big forests. We have a lot of edible wild mushroom, over 56 varieties that are there, and they are very variable. We have some that are very small, very micro, and some that are very, very large. We have the mushroom that their cup is very big, at the size of the basin. That's when you get just one mushroom, it is enough for you to feed the family for a day. Very big one. So we have that big variety in senses of size and form, but also they are very diverse. We have some of them that are found above the ground and others that are found a bit underground. So you can find some as you're walking around, but some of them you'll find a ground is a bit broken, and the locals, they know when you remove that ground a bit, you will find some mushroom a bit underground. But also they have this huge ecological richness that they are found from the mountain to the Miombo woodland to the roots of the tree. We can find them in a lot of places. But also they have different morphological characteristics in senses of shapes and colors and gills and texture and so on. So these are some of the pictures we had. We have some, the yellowish one, this we call it Wangenjano in a local name. And we have the orange one, we call this Ukikova. This is, it has a longer shelf life. It can stay up to 4 days without deteriorating. We have the other one, this one we call it Umpalala, and it's very nutritious. It has a lot of protein content, and it coexists with some type of maggot inside the stem. So usually when the locals dry this out, we'll see some small maggots that are moving around, but the maggots are also edible. So you get the plus. And we have this another variety. This is called Wangenye Kundu. And this is one of the mushroom varieties that is liked by a lot of local societies. It is very common. During the rain season, you will find it being sold along the roads most of the time. We have this one, we call it Ulelema. This one is one of those big cap mushroom. You can get one very big, but it deteriorates very fast. So in a span of 3 to 4 hours, it's already deteriorated because it has a lot of water content and a lot of protein content. So moving to our study focus. So our study compared the edible wild mushroom versus the cultivated mushroom. Scientifically, we do not compare varieties like that. They usually use uncontrolled technologies, but we wanted to see are there significant loss of nutrients when the two different technologies are used. So we had a very comprehensive analysis of nutritional content of the different varieties of mushroom, and we were able to analyze the carbohydrates, the protein, the fat, the fiber, and the ash. This is the total mineral content of the different varieties. As we can see, this is for edible wild mushroom. We have a green. This is the amount of carbohydrates that is present. And the blue one, this is the amount of protein. The light green, that is the fat content. The pinkish, this is the ash content or total fiber, total mineral content. And a bit of light blue, this is the fiber content. So as we can see in our graphs, we have the graph for wild species versus the cultivated species, and we have the significant differences in the nutritional content between the two, the cultivated and the wild varieties, except for carbohydrates. We have higher carbohydrates in cultivated varieties compared to wild varieties, but all other nutrients, the wild varieties are more dominant. In here we see the protein content, the greenish one. This is for edible wild mushroom. It's a lot of them compared to the cultivated varieties. So it helps us promote more consumption of wild mushroom. But as well as the drying technologies, when we compared between the fresh and the dried, we saw that there is significant difference between the two nutrients when comparing the fresh and the dried mushroom. Although, but for fat, fiber, and minerals, we don't have a big difference. The difference is not significant when we are comparing the year-long availability of edible wild mushroom. These are some of the uncontrolled. This is the solar drying versus the controlled. We used laboratory food dryers where it is different, but the difference is not significant. So we are still promoting the drying technologies to be used by the society so that they can have access to ensure year-long availability, enhance food security, and support trade. While some of them last only 3 to 4 hours, depending on the richness of the nutritional content that they possess. So what is the research frontier that we are trying to communicate here? In parts of Africa, many of these species remain undocumented. But also we have the issue of feeding indigenous knowledge. When we had some men and women in the village that we are collaborating with when we are collecting data. We have some interviews with them, and we can see that if these knowledge are not documented over the years, a certain generation will not know that we had a wild mushroom as one of the very important food, that they have a lot of nutritional and medicinal properties. They have a lot of active ingredients that can be used during our normal food systems. So also underutilized potential and medicinal properties and the agents for conservation. So these are areas that we call upon to explore in the areas of edible wild mushroom. And yes, you can eat mushroom if you are having sleeping issues. It's one of the very good food to help you with sleeping. It has very high level of potassium. And I call upon you to add mushroom in your daily diet, in your daily cuisine, especially the wild mushroom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna Minja from Bayer University. She's one of the youngest and brilliant researcher from Bayer University, and she's calling upon everybody to start eating mushrooms.